What's up, everybody? On this episode of the podcast, we have Paul Thompson. Paul's Director of Education for Make-up Designory, otherwise known as MUD. MUD is Salon Success Academy's educational makeup partner. Our aesthetics students complete an 80-hour MUD class as part of their overall aesthetics program. In this episode, you will learn about Paul's background, how he became a professional makeup artist, how he started working on TV and commercial sets, and a little bit about MUD's history. So get ready to learn all about Salon Success Academy and Make-up Designory's partnership, and Paul Thompson on this episode of Salon Success Academy, the podcast. So what's up? This is the Salon Success Podcast. I'm Joseph Joe Marmolejo.
And I'm Jeff Gross. At Salon Success, you can get a great haircut.
Let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know what we're yelling about!
Well, hello, Salon Success.
The girls at Beauty Academy are so mean.
She don't even go here.
Welcome to Salon Success Academy.
You can't sit with us. Salon Success.
Hello, Salon Success.
Help you with your career, just a little.
Salon Success.
All right, hi, this is Joseph Joe Marmolejo,
Hi, this is Monique.
and we're here with our very special guest, Mr. Paul. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. So Mr. Paul Thompson over here out of MUD, Make-up Designory, and he was over here at our Upland campus doing instructor training today. So we wanted to take the opportunity and, get him on mic, get him on this podcast and really understand who he is and what he means to to Salon Success and what the MUD program exactly is. So do you want to tell us a little bit about the MUD program?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that we do as a company, and maybe some of your students or some of the folks listening to this class don't really understand or know what MUD is or what we do. So this might be a good time to talk about that. First and foremost, our goal was to really create relationships with cosmetology schools that allowed us to have, have a meaningful relationship with students that were looking to go into the beauty or service industry and have a much more meaningful makeup experience. So I guess start a little bit for me too is also where where's MUD? Where did MUD come from? And what does MUD really stand for? Well, the company is Make-up Designory, and our original game plan was to create a makeup school in Los Angeles that catered towards film and television makeup. And where it has grown to has been kind of extraordinary, actually. We have two main campuses, one in New York, one in Los Angeles, that teach kind of a broad range of makeup from very, very basic beauty makeup all the way up through the advanced kind of special makeup effects, things that you can do with makeup. And it's really geared towards film and television still, but also towards weddings and bridal events and other types of events and fashion and just kind of the whole range of things that you can do with makeup. Then if you look at that trajectory of those two schools, we started to really develop a product line that supported the education that we were teaching, and really with the mindset of what makes a good product as it gets into for people to wear, something that's going to work all day on set versus also will work well for just the everyday person. So we were really focused in the very beginning on education, and then it expanded to cosmetics, and then from there we started to expand into the world where we started offering classes at campuses all over the world. Basically, MUD studios. I think there's 23 different MUD studios now. At different places all over the world, Rome, Milan, Berlin, Guatemala, Manila has a campus. So they're kind of there's even one in Johannesburg and one in Cape Town. So they're kind of spread out throughout the world pretty in an amazing way. And I've had the cool pleasure of going to each one of them and working. And
That was one of the questions I was about to ask.
Yeah, so it's been a really cool experience for me, just because, it's my job to make sure there's teachers and there's staff and the curriculum is all developed properly and so on.
So what is your role in the company?
So my actual title is Director of Education, and my role is really kind of the person that rolls out all curriculum changes and writes all of the curriculum, I say that very, very humbly, because there's so many people that really do that with me. There's a whole team of makeup artists that are active and participate in the whole writing and development of curriculum. But additionally, we also do teacher training, and with the 100+ schools, partner schools like Salon Success Academy, there are a lot of teachers that we're really preparing these days, and that are really getting, that we're really doing to try to give the best possible education to the student.
Yeah, that's one thing that really stands out about the MUD program and the Make-up Designory program, just in general, is that our teachers go through that 2-week training program. It's 2 weeks, right?
It's it depends. It's broken up. We've kind of we've now, for you guys, we're doing a bit of a hybrid model. So there's an online portion and then a live portion that they do as well. So yeah, there's a whole makeup education part of it that we cover. The vast majority of teachers, specifically, you guys have such great teachers here. I mean, you have such talented artists, such amazing people. Mo went through the class and graduated, so that's really good. And what's amazing about your teachers specifically is that a lot of them are already makeup artists and are already working, and so we're just bringing them into kind of the fold in terms of what we do educationally in terms of makeup, and then our very, very unique philosophy on what makes a great teacher and how do you deliver that curriculum effectively.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I had the opportunity to film a couple teachers as they were going out there, or instructors as they were giving their final presentation in the past, and then I got to witness Mo going through the training this time. So I think that it really, really prepares our teachers, and we can't just send anybody out there. And that's one thing that I think is important for the students to understand, is that our teachers are going through that. They're not just coming out here and just teaching you from a book. They've been through the rings. They've been through the ringer. They've done it before. They've had the education. They've been taught right to teach them. So I think that's one of the things that really, really stands out about the MUD program with all of our partners that we work with. It stands out. So.
I think also is that, when you're looking at education, and, right now, specifically in a young person's life, education is probably the most important experience they can have. And so someone who wants to work in this industry, whether it be film and television or work in the beauty industry in terms of working in a salon or having their own chair, all of those things, education at the very beginning is crucial, because even though you may continue learning throughout your career, this is going to set the stage or the foundation for which you're going to move forward from here. Mm-hmm. And the more you have, the better you're going to be prepared ultimately in the end.
Yeah, so when students are here at Salon Success, they take the Beauty Essentials course, right? Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
So Beauty Essentials is what we would consider to be the very basics of beauty makeup. So we have 4 programs at our campus in both LA and New York. And all of our MUD studios do this as well. And Beauty Essentials is the first class students take with all of us. So what's good about that, and where the partnership is really amazing between us and Salon Success Academy, is that students that take that class now have the materials and the first 84 hours of our programs. So if they found that they wanted to expand their makeup education, and they wanted to expand it, say, into a 602-hour program or something like that, much broader makeup experience, the first 84 hours they would not have to pay for that again. They would not have to do it again. They don't need the materials again. They have all that stuff. So it's a really great partnership because you can parlay what you just learned at Salon Success Academy and go right into another program with us if that was what you wanted.
What are some of the other programs?
So we have a master program, which is an 812-hour program, which is really beauty makeup with a little bit of hairstyling and special makeup effects. So the student typically is going to go through just a lot more practice and a lot more experience in terms of the different types of makeups that they're going to run into.
And 812 hours, is that typically about six to 8 months?
It's about 6 months, yeah. They're with us 7 hours a day, 5 days a week. So yeah, I think it's just at 6 months.
Okay. Yeah, we're really lucky here because Monique was, when she was a student here, she actually got to take the Beauty Essentials program. She was the first cosmetology student at our Redlands campus to take the program. And
what'd you think, Mo?
I
Yeah, exactly.
loved it. So when I started, I watched a lot of YouTube and learned how to do makeup that way. So when I took that course, I learned the sanitation, which is very important, and how to mix and make things from like the bases. Like you make your own base, you make your own concealer and everything like that. So you can customize it to every person. So that was really fascinating to learn. And then kind of learning everything again to teach it. To be like a teacher, you have to kind of be an expert, right?
Yeah.
So I got to learn more in depth and just how to be a teacher pretty much.
Yeah, it's an interesting, there's so much information out there. YouTube is the largest social media platform in the U.S. And so there's a lot of students and a lot of people that turn to YouTube to learn things or Instagram, or there's things that they see on that. And you might wonder, okay, well, why do I pay for an education? I can just watch it all on YouTube. Well, this is where I think, makeup is really different. I feel when I see people doing things, they're doing it what works on them. And so they tend to teach just those techniques that this will work on me. So if you ever had to do that person's makeup, you could watch that YouTube channel and you'd know how to do their makeup. But if you wanted to learn how to do anyone's makeup, that's where it really changes. And our philosophy with makeup has always been, it really shouldn't be about the product. And I think today's standards, there's a lot of people out there that really make it about the product. And, it's kind of amateur versus professional. Professional can use anything because you really understand why. And you really understand the need or why something should be done. And I think that's what we really teach. And that ultimately, when you're in the classroom and you're learning, how do I move the eyes further apart or closer together? Or how do I raise one eye or lower the other? Or how do I really fix eyebrows? Or how do I correct, what should the lips really look like? And, those questions. And in our classes, we really do answer the why question. It's not about, oh, you need this product. Oh, your eyes are too close together. Oh, here's a product for that. It's really not about that. It's about understanding why things are the way they are. And then what do you need to do? And really, honestly, once you're a makeup artist and you really understand the why and how, you could use anything to get beautiful results.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to ask is, how did you become a makeup artist?
I want to ask myself that question. Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, I got to ask Paul. I had told Mo a couple weeks ago, I was like, I got to ask Paul Apprentice for
So I started in 1987. So that was probably a long time ago. And 1987, I was out of high school. And I was going to college, and I was really trying to figure out what the heck I was going to do with my life. And I went through college, and I knew I wanted to do something in film. So I took a whole series of classes. And when I say college, I was at a community college, and I was experimenting with different things. So I took life sculpture, life drawing. I took a theatrical makeup class. I took a sound design class. I took a history of film class, and I took a set design class and like a film production class. And I really was kind of, throwing it all out there, like, well, what I really want to do. And the one thing that really resonated with me was the makeup class. And so much so that I ended up taking the class 2 more times, which the college was like, wait, you can't do that. And so they allowed me to, and each time I went back to the teacher, and in this particular case, the teacher was a makeup artist. And what he was doing was teaching young actors how to do their own makeup. I was in there. I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to be a makeup artist, or I was experimenting. And, one of the things that I told him was that, I really want to learn. So he came up with this idea that we would just keep doing this as an advanced class, and he would just keep expanding what we did. And that's how I got started.
That's really cool.
And he actually took me on jobs with him, to kind of get the experience. And I remember, one of my first jobs was for Mitsubishi TVs, and I didn't even know Mitsubishi made TVs at that time. And we had to do a kind of a Mission Impossible reveal where one actor pulls off his face and it's another actor. And so he and I, working together at the school, made the face that was torn off, and and it allowed me to be on set, and I'd be his assistant for the whole thing. And honestly, it was like the best experience of my life. And I'm like, okay, I'm in, moving to LA.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the biggest things whenever I talk to any of our students who are curious about mud, or any of the teachers that are going through training, is that I'm like, this is to get you on set. Like, this is it. And we're here in Southern California. Like, you have every opportunity to get on set, and this is an avenue for all of our esthetician students that are going through this program. That's their foot in the door.
There's more, actually. We do definitely talk a lot about how does this correlate to on set. We talk about makeup and how that actually translates. And so, from that perspective, it's really good for students to hear, because it is another avenue for them to work. It is another place for them to go and start to think if they want to do that kind of thing. A lot of people don't know, like in the beginning, where ultimately they want to work. And right now, there is so much production happening. There's a strike about to happen, so there's a lot of uncertainty in the industry right about now. But leading out of COVID, once production was allowed to restart, that machine was just like cranked on high. There's so much work that I'm finding so many non-union makeup artists being hired to work union just because there's not enough makeup artists. And even now, for myself, I can't get teachers because everybody's working. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, I understand that. How have you worked on any sets or anything post-COVID?
Nothing post-COVID. Yeah. So, I mean,
or I guess we're mid-COVID.
Yeah, well, I guess it's mid-COVID, really. When I haven't really worked on set in a while. I've done a few things, done some consulting. I'm crazy enough helping a friend with a psychological thriller. But pretty much that's where my focus has really been on the school and education. And really, I've been with the 120 some odd schools and teachers that I'm dealing with. It's really been pretty full time.
How has training been affected by the pandemic?
Well, we ended up having to change things up. I mean, obviously there was a big shift to online training in the beginning of the pandemic. And because of that, we really have had to go through and reinvent how do we do that. I knew there was going to be some portion of it, of the online training that would carry on into the future. And we're seeing it now, like we're doing here at Salon Success Academy, is we're doing a part of it online and then another part actually in a classroom. So the last couple of days I've been here working, training teachers specifically for, to get into the classroom.
And I have to applaud you guys over at MUD because to see how flexible you have been and to see how much you have been able to adapt like you said, you've had to pivot, you've had to come out here and make some changes to your program. And I know seeing it from the back end, seeing a lot of our instructors get trained, seeing the communication between, our administration and your higher ups and you in particular, you guys have been flexible and been willing to experiment in different ways. Because I know with makeup application, it's very hands-on.
Well, this is, I think thank you for saying that. One of the things I think is it's one of the reasons why we do this with Salon Success Academy. We really care about the student success. We really care that the students not only learn what we ask them to learn, but get out there and work and get out there and be successful and live the dream that they want to have. And you guys share that same passion, the exact same passion. So I think that, when you look at, there's been a lot of challenges with COVID. Students have had to endure unbelievable things. And, our classes have been affected. Our teachers have been affected. We've lost so much staff because of the pandemic. People moving out of state, just a whole host of challenges and hurdles and things of this nature. And students, to be honest, kind of have taken it on the chin, and they're the ones that are fighting every day to keep their dream alive. And to be honest, we're here to make sure you do that.
All right, that's awesome to hear. I love that commitment. That's something that we really look for in partners that we work for, because like you said, we have a commitment to our students and to their success, and to have our partners align with that same vision. It's what makes the difference.
It is. It makes all the difference in the world, and it makes it easy when you start to talk about, well, how flexible can you be? Well, we can be really flexible. How can we work around this problem or that problem? Well, we're going to figure it out, because it's that important. It's that important.
What's your advice to anybody that's wanting to, make a career out of this?
So someone who wants maybe like a film industry career, anything like that, first of all, let me just say, coming to Salon Success Academy, getting licensed, cosmetology or aesthetics, and having makeup as as part of the things that you're able to do for a client, means that you're going to be far, far, far more marketable. If you want to work in the film and television industry, the advice would actually be the same for both. Practice your craft. Practice your craft. Practice your craft. Because if you're good at what you do, you will work all the time. And you should probably be a good person too.
Mm-hmm. And professional.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Mo, did you have any questions that you had for Paul?
No, I think we got them all.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot here. If any of our graduates that are currently MUD certified wanted to look into taking some more advanced classes, how would they take the first steps to doing so?
Yep, so there's going to be a couple of things that are going to be coming up very soon for MUD. So one of them is going to be taking classes. So we're starting a speaker series, which will be so they could obviously do. So let me just jump all over the place really fast. So you could for sure go to classes with us and just parlay the education you got at Salon Success Academy right into a big program. So you could jump into a multimedia program or a master program or a fashion program, and you don't have to pay for the parts you've already taken. So that's pretty brilliant. There's also a speaker series that's coming out, and that speaker series is going to be 1 to 3 day classes that are going to be priced accordingly, where we're going to be bringing in probably the top names in the industry to do lectures and actually teach the class. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. It's kind of like, where you see online, Ron Howard's going to be your director teacher, or, your filmmaking teacher. It's going to be kind of the same, hopefully the same level as that, where you have these truly amazing makeup artists working hard to one-on-one with you. So that's going to be a pretty cool thing. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be open to all of our graduates. It's going to be open to all of our partner school graduates, be all of your students that have been certified. This would be open to them.
Monique, we got to get you signed up for that.
Yep, I'll be there.
That's right. Yeah, and there's going to be a bunch of them. There's going to be ones on special makeup effects. There'll be ones on beauty makeup. It should be really entertaining.
Yeah, that sounds really exciting. Well, we're going to have you back here in a couple weeks doing some more teacher training. As of right now, this is the end of the podcast. We're super excited and grateful that you were able to come out here and speak with us today.
Thanks for having me. Thank you both. I didn't know exactly what to expect. So if I fumbled my words too much, hopefully, everybody understands.
Oh, you did perfect. I think you did great.
Great.
Yeah, you definitely led this. You're the star of the show today. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That's the outro sound. And until then, we'll have you back one day.
Awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Salon Success.